Okay, we did this video last week, what's rolling through the shop. Let's do a same video. This week, it's a lot of small jobs and some prototypes. So I've got some drawings here. A guy dropped off. We're going to build him. It's a heater core holder that he's putting on his dad's classic car so he can drive it for a few more weeks, probably up until snow flies. Just enough that he can, he can plumb it in and turn on the defrosters and be able to drive safely. So that's going to be the first thing. Today's Monday evening. We are doing a construction job. We patched some drywall and we're painting a room. It's not really anything like super crazy, but it pays the bills, so we're doing it. Another thing we got is what might be our last of the second generation 24-inch vertical smoker. It's end of September right now. It's the only one I have an order for, and I've already started doing the designs for what will be our third generation. So last year in 2023, we had them, and it was a smaller door, no ashtray, and it was made out of 3/16 steel. The feedback we got was, can you make it out of 1/4-inch steel? Which the prices of steel were coming down a little bit to keep it an affordable price. So we did that. Series 2, they're all made, or second generation, they're all made out of 1/4-inch plate. We made the firebox door bigger, and we changed the actual firebox, and it has an ashtray, or an ash pan, whichever you want to call it. The third generation really isn't going to be that much different. I don't even know if I'm going to change the doors. The two things I might change. Oh, and in the second series, we moved to a 6-inch stack versus the first series had a 4-inch stack. And that was purely just because the 6-inch looked better and operation didn't really seem to change that much. Because we have a damper on the top of it, so you can still control how much flow goes out. The big thing that's going to be the change on the third series is we're going to offer them with pellet smokers, so you'll have an option. You want a wood burner or do you want a pellet burner? Other than that, the other thing we're going to have rolling through the shop is a snow pusher prototype. And I think that's about it. So a couple of little jobs and, a pond shovel. That's our other thing. But kind of a light week, small week. We're going to quote some jobs too. But those are the big things. The snow pusher, probably the last of the second generation 24-inch vertical smoker, and I think that's it. Oh, and we have a set of ramps. So that's pretty much what's rolling through the shop this week. Next week, we're on a flatbed, and then the third week, we might be painting a house, doing some remodeling, because I know it's more than just paint. It started out just paint, but it sounds like it's moved to more stuff. That might take us a week or two. And then after that, we'll probably jump back onto some prototyping and all that good stuff. So I think today I quoted 3 jobs. Tomorrow I'm quoting another job. So there's more stuff coming. But that's kind of what's going on this week and what you can kind of expect for videos. I kind of want to do a last detailed video on the second generation 24-inch verticals, because we're getting ready. I'm going to change up how we do all our smokers, I think. Because we're also going to come out with horizontal smokers too, and I haven't fully come out with the details yet, but I want to make, like, with all the bells and whistles, one of our horizontal smokers, and I want to, I guess you could say, sponsor someone, kind of how I'm thinking of getting our name out there with it, is sponsoring someone with the smoker so they can take it and go ideally win barbecue competitions, so other guys who are in that competition world can see, you know, kind of what's going on. Cool smoker that, you know, maybe they want one too. Because personally for me, like selling the flatbeds and the skid steer attachments, it's a little easier because I'm more in that world. So like some of my customer base already enjoyed that. They enjoy that because, you know, those are things that can kind of work out for them. They could use flatbeds, skid steer attachments, all that stuff. Excuse me. Smokers, not so much. I'm really not in that realm, but I really, really enjoy building them. I am a backyard smoker myself. I'm not a professional. So I'm going to try to do that. I also want to try and see if I can get a couple of guys to do some videos with sample burns and cooks with it. Just so people who are kind of on the fence, because maybe ours is a little different, or, you know, kind of a see it tried before you buy kind of deal. That's my hopes and ambitions. I did a video last year too talking about maybe some of the new equipment I wanted to purchase, because we're kind of starting to wrap up 2024 and we're already looking at 2025. Equipment that I actually want to purchase, I don't really know. To give the story on it, it's not final yet, so I haven't said much, but we might be taking over some kind of, I call it remodeling work, because it could be drywall, it could be trim, it could be, you know, flooring, like all that kind of stuff. From a guy we used to work for. So I'm kind of just leaving my options blank for the minute, because I don't know what all I need to buy for that. I know I need to buy more hand tools and things of that nature, and maybe even a trailer and a truck. So I'm trying to not realistically think about anything I need to purchase for that. All that being said, the one thing I would really like to purchase is a new brake. This one, it works good, and 90% of the things I'm bending are smaller than 2 feet. In fact, the only thing I bend on that, on the regular, is if I do trailer ramps, which I don't do, or excuse me, not trailer ramps, trailer fenders, which I don't do a lot. The custom, like, one-off things that happen before feet. But the two, I guess I should say there's two big things I do now and I'm gonna do, is one, fuel cells. I always just break the fuel cells. I make them out of aluminum, and then it's just easier because I just have to weld the ends in and a top on. Makes it way easier for me, especially with something that, you know, has to be airtight or watertight or fuel tight, however you want to talk about it. And those are something I do want to market more. That being said, it's 2 brakes per fuel cell. So if I do, say I do 30 fuel cells next year, it's 60 brakes on the press. It's not actually that many. Versus like, and the second thing I do is the horizontal smokers. I want to break them instead of cutting out the panels and welding them. Again, I think I can do it with that. I've gotten fairly decent at it. And again, it's 4 bends per smoker. If I do 10 to 20 smokers next year, it's not that many bends. That still is faster than, and looks better than welding them all together. So I don't know if I need a 4-foot, but I want a CNC brake, because on the small parts I make, like per flatbed, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 17. There's almost 20 bends per flatbed I do, and I do like anywhere from like 30 to 40 flatbeds a year probably. So it's a lot of bends, and it's, smaller pieces that I want to be quick with. So that being said, I might purchase a Langmuir System CNC brake. If I do that, might be the only thing I purchase for the shop. Besides, like, I might get another storage cabinet and a section of toolbox or another toolbox, and I'm sure I'll have some hand tools in there, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about for 2025 equipment. I wouldn't mind just kind of taking a year and, maybe not investing a ton into this, especially if we're going to kind of start this whole new construction side. We'll have to invest some money there. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking. Again, it's going to be whatever we can cash flow. And I think that's really all the equipment as of right now I can see needing. Another piece that might pop up, it depends, because with the skid steer attachments, I'm starting to get people who ask, do you make excavator attachments? And the holdup I've had on it is I don't want to send anything out the door that's not perfect working. And the one thing that has held me back from doing that is making sure the pins are perfectly straight and flush and where they need to be. I've done it and not had issues. I don't know. I might play around with building a couple of prototypes, and if it seems like I can get through it, not a problem. I won't worry about it. But the second part why this tool would be handy is to keep on the service truck, because we also run into this and we always outsource this. But it's a line bore. Just so if I'm building a excavator attachment and where the pin goes through isn't quite lined up on the ears, I don't have to cut it out. I can just fix it with the line bore. And then the big reason I would want a line bore is to put on the service truck so that we don't have to outsource that anymore. Because unfortunately, I'm probably to this point where if I would have just bought one the first time I needed one, the money I've spent in, giving that money to the people we outsource it to, I probably could have bought one. So maybe a line bore. And then that also opens me up to, I've kind of always thought how cool it'd be to buy like an older, like maybe an older skid steer or an older, backhoe, or just kind of anything like that. One of my hobbies is I really like to redo stuff like that. So I just kind of thought, man, how cool would it be to be able to, bring all of that stuff back to spec. I have a couple of friends who are motor wrenchers. They could freshen up the motors, make sure the hydraulics are good, and just kind of redo older equipment. And then for me personally, it's if I can redo it and sell it and maybe even put a little money in my pocket, but it gets someone a good machine to maybe start whatever they're doing, and it's been gone through, but it's not the price of a new one, might be worth it. And just to kind of take me the next avenue in that. A new welding truck bed is probably going to be 2025, but we've talked about that. It's just we're going to run out of time this year. A couple people have asked me if I've started our shop yet. Not yet. With this new construction deal coming on, it's absorbing more of my time, and I haven't been working on our Ford 800. So that kind of stalls me. Since that project stalled, that has to get done before I build a shop. I'm not super desperate to be in a new shop. Would it be nice? Yes. Do I need it tomorrow? No. So I'm not super desperate. Will it be nice? Absolutely. But I'm not, I'm just going to do it whenever it makes sense to do it. We're not at the point where, gosh, we need to be in there. This year has kind of been the anomaly, but in general, most years, most of our work is on the road. As far as booking goes, it already looks like next year is going to be similar. Most of the time, the shop is storage. It kind of probably doesn't seem like that because I always film videos in the shop, but actually most of the time I'm working off the truck. So we'll just see. I'm going to kind of press pause on that one. Next year, if we don't buy a bunch of equipment, we can just pile more cash towards it. And yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to save more money now when it looks like, okay, maybe like if we take this on, we're going to have to hire some people. I kind of like having a little more money in the bank because when you hire people, you have to train them. Doesn't always mean they're going to make money the first day. I like to have 2 to 3 months of what someone's going to make sitting in the bank before they even get hired on. For me, it's just a method that works because, you go into it thinking like, all right, I have 3 months of their wages in an account. In your mind, forget it's there. And then when you're training them, it takes some pressure off to be patient training someone, especially when they're doing things that, it's like, okay, well, that lost me money and that lost me money and that lost me money. I like to just think of it like, okay, they're going to get paid out of this pool for 3 months. And then afterwards, they should have some concept of what they're doing to pay for themselves. That's just kind of how I look at it. Some people aren't that way, and that's fine. But that's not how I look at it. So, yeah. So anyways, we might just hold on to some cash and get the tractor done, move on some prototypes, and then just kind of go from there. One last thing is I go through a lot of wire because we build our own harnesses for our flatbeds. I buy it 100 feet at a time. And I think 100 feet at a time, I think it takes like 35 feet to do one flatbed. That's not true. It takes like 25 feet to do one flatbed. So I can almost get 4 flatbeds done. And I buy red, white, blue, black, green, and yellow. If anybody knows a place where I could buy it instead of 100 feet at a time, like 1,000 feet at a time, and get a little bit better price per foot, I'd appreciate it because we run through that stuff a lot. And then if I can get it cheaper by the foot, it now becomes cheaper per flatbed, and that's the name of the game. So, anyways, guys, I think that's it for what's rolling through the shop this week and what kind of threw in what next year is going to look like. So last thing we're going to talk about is, where is it? There it is, sitting on the floor. Been cleaning. Don't forget to enter to win our Hercules corded bandsaw. We're giving it away December 7th. And just head on over to the video, and the video describes how to enter. So, all right, guys. Anyways, till next time, if you're not burning, you're not learning. We'll see you.